I'll start off with our feature on the show today as we look at the federal government's extension of the deadline for the NIN SIM Data Verification to October the 31st this year, as focus shifts to remote and hard-to-reach areas, schools and health centers. Now, according to the statement, the decision to extend the deadline was made following a request by stakeholders to accommodate registration in hard-to-reach remote areas, foreigners and diplomatic missions, diaspora, and address low enrollment in schools and hospitals. As evidenced by enrollment statistics, it said July 24th, there were over 5,500 enrollment systems within and outside the country, and this would significantly ease the NIN enrollment process and also subsequent linkage of NIN to SIM cards. Now, the aim of this NIN SIM linkage is expected to make it easier for security agencies as well to carry out their statutory duties and the relevant parastatals under the Ministry of Communications and Digital Economy, which also supporting them as required. So far, 59.8 million unique NIN enrollments have been captured since the enrollment process began. Joining me now via Skype to discuss this trend and much more, I have Joseph Agumbiade, the co-founder of Budget. Good to have you on the Breakfast Show this morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Yes, now, we've had this discussion several times with every single extension. How critical would you say it is to understand that registrations like this, just like voter registrations, do not, in a sane climb, not have deadlines? It has to be a continuous registration process. We cannot continue setting deadlines and pushing it forward and extending the duration. Your thoughts, really, the sentiments that are ruling in your mind?
We're established in our previous conversations that it is partly a cultural behavior than it is a real deadline. That Nigerians don't get to respond to things like this except you have set out deadlines. So I believe it's largely a way to just get more people. And when you look at it, between the first deadline, which was in December last year, and now, look at the massive number of enrollment that has happened. And I believe all of this happened because of each of those pseudo deadlines, I must say. So we all know that definitely this is something that government need. They need every single person who has enrolled or who has a SIM card to get enrolled. Than it is for them to just cut off someone. I mean, you can't cut people off because then the motive will not have been achieved completely. So if you must track people using, security-wise and all that, you need to know who they are and every one of Nigerian citizens that carries a SIM. So I think it's normal. It's normal. It's expected. Of course, now every citizen should understand that the next deadline is not necessarily cannot be necessarily cast in stone, but at least the whole idea of setting the deadline has increased the number of enrollments so far.
And just as at the 24th of this month, we've seen well over 5,500 enrollments. But really now, in terms of automation of processes, we've had reports of challenges within that regard as well. How critical would you also say it is to fine-tune out automation processes and data collection? Because we have to work with big data, but working with big data means you also have to have your systems well organized, and then you also have response teams or strategies that also meet the collation of this information. Now, we also talked about certain softwares that could be accommodated or utilized. How intentional should we be about utilizing the local tech space that we have now, synergizing and also looking for possible solutions to ensure that we have better automation processes when it comes to data collection, and then also working with the population as regards to policy agenda and developmental challenges of the country?
Yeah, so today we have like some of the world-class software developers in Nigeria who are developing local solutions, global solutions for global firms, Google, Facebook, and the likes. But if you bring it down to this particular NIN registration, we were established that the software was not the problem from the beginning. It was never the software. It is the infrastructure, the server infrastructure that is in place. if you are running a local server, Nigerian law states that if you are running if you are collecting national data, it has to be domiciled here locally. Now, the challenge with that is the fact that our internet, we have very terrible internet infrastructures. And then even the particular server that they are using, what capacity does it have? So when you combine all of those things together, that is why we keep seeing these shortcomings, these shortfalls. It is not so much about what software can do. Software's limitation is the software is as good as the server where it is, domicile. So we are seeing that our investment has to go more on infrastructure. Our cloud infrastructure locally in Nigeria has to really, really improve. There was a time we did a little bit of investigation and realized that what they are using what NCC is using for NIN wasn't that great. I don't know if it has improved, but I think that the investment has to go more on the physical infrastructure and then also on our internet. That way, we would be able to conquer this thing that looks like unending. But I must say that if you look at it, if we have about 180 something total SIM owners, subscribers, and we have about
59.8 million already.
58 million already enrolled in NIN, and there's a prediction that an average Nigerian carries about 3 SIMs. It therefore means that we are fast approaching the projected number, of total number of SIM registration that we're supposed to do, NIN and SIM linkages that we're supposed to. So I think we've made a lot of progress. The thing is that we're supposed to have achieved this number much earlier. That is what I think should have happened. Right now we are fast approaching it, but the infrastructure has to improve.
Infrastructure development is definitely key. But if I may button here in just less than 30 seconds to go, Joseph, now what's the future of digital economy in Nigeria and also working with big data? Yes, we've seen certain moves with regards to the digital space, the like of government initiative in terms of taxing tech companies that have some presence in Nigeria. How do you think such conversations and now this extension will affect the digital economy in Nigeria?
So the first thing is that the future of digital economy in Nigeria is very bright. Why? It is because of the human capital. We have gotten very solid human capital in Nigeria, and you see them in the kind of places they are working across the country. So what I will say is that the government has to team up with Nigerians, because if you look at the kind of foreign exchange we have brought in the last couple of years, you will know that definitely government needs to do more work on their own parts to ensure infrastructure is fully available. So with that more investment, Lagos State has just laid some fiber optics. I think they need to do more. They need to increase that. Then we need that to happen also across the country, so that it's not just Lagos State that is leading. So if you do more investment on infrastructure, local cloud technology, network improvements and all that, and then begin to make decisions based on data and not just federal character. Let's look at data. Where are the people that needs this technology? Let's invest heavily in these areas. Get all the young people across the country to start using technology rightly, and then we would have been on our way to a bright future.
Thank you very much for your time on the Breakfast Show this morning, Joseph Agumbiade. It's been a pleasure speaking with you, and definitely infrastructure development is critical to ensuring that we have a very strong digital economy. Thank you once again.
Thanks a lot. Have a great day.